Willie?
Lillian. That's a Shrek 2 donkey quote from the dinner table.
That's a deep cut.
That's a deep cut. Where do I find more fun props other than Bovada? Because I don't see any fun.
I'm telling you, Bovada has this whole. You're probably not looking in the right thing, but it's like each team's got like 12 specialty bets, and the lower you go down, the higher the odds get.
Their
Those are
UI
really fun ones.
sucks.
Oh,
It's
You
better
can't find
on
anything on there.
It's better on the computer, I think.
I'm on.
Oh yeah, you
I was
can't use
on
the
the
app.
computer.
You can't use the app. Or the app, the web browser from your phone, not even.
It's
the
all
app.
poop. It like the search thing.
You don't know how to use it. Don't back talk.
Well, I was trying to search
Bovada's
up
been
MVP
great
odds, and I typed in Justin Herbert, and the only thing that popped up was next person Justin Trudeau's going to date.
Their search thing sucks. You sort of
You
just
didn't hear what
gotta
I
find
said.
Cam
find
Akers,
the
120.
needle nice
Man, ooh, that's interesting.
The next, they have odds on who the next person Justin Trudeau is going to date.
How many of them are male?
None. I was looking at that. I thought like one or two would be.
All right. Sorry,
So-
I'm a little scatterbrained. I'm getting everything pulled up. Okay, here we go.
Hey, is K-Walk going to be healthy for the season start?
Yeah.
We'll talk
It's
about
just
it.
a groin injury.
All right.
Yeah, we'll talk
Better
about
to
it.
happen now than in fucking October. But
You better
let's
say fuck
kick this
now
off.
than in 10 minutes from now.
We are live on YouTube, so don't get us demonetized.
Sorry, guys.
Dang it, they're probably watching right now.
It's given no warning.
Oh, okay, we're live. All right, let's start recording,
go.
check our audio, and let's do this thing.
All right, I'm the most prepared I've ever been. Here we go.
So I would say you're as prepared as you normally are.
Hey, unless we're talking about the Rangers, then I do prepare for those.
Yeah.
Skibidi-boop, skibidi-bop.
Check.
That's fine.
I've had
Alex,
sick kids. That's my
me
excuse this
something.
week.
Oh, yeah. Check.
All
Looking
right, we're good.
All right.
Shoo-be-doo, shabby-da, shoo-be-doo, da-da-da-dee-do.
Alrighty. Let's pause. Austin, beep,
Station
and let's
identification.
do this thing.
Why did you say my name like that?
I was deciding
Because he got it wrong last time. He tried to give someone else the beep,
Austin.
I tried to let Alex do it
and I
because
lost
he hadn't
my
ever done
mind.
it. And Rosie said,
wanna-
"What the heck?"
I want to hear Alex do it.
Austin, don't hand it to the plebs.
That's true.
Don't throw me on the spot like that, man.
My daughter's right
It's
outside
a
the
lot of
door.
pressure.
She should beep. No. Here we go.
All right, welcome everyone to this week's episode of Making the Call. We are continuing the month of August of dang it. I didn't mean to say month of August. Let's run it from the top. Let's pause.
It is
Austin.
the month of August.
say hi.
Hi
Can
Emma.
you beep for us?
Can you say hi? Can you say beep? Say beep. Say beep. Go beep. That's enough. All right. Love you, baby. Bye-bye. Hey, you have a good... No, she just said it. She's like, I don't perform for nobody.
Facts.
I'll let you know when she's out of the room. Go.
Get.
Get, boy.
Love you, Emma. Bye-bye. Night-night. Hey, be good for mommy, okay? Okay, you can take that. Okay, bye-bye. Clear.
Welcome everyone to this week's episode of Making the Call. This is week 2 of our division preview podcast here. And last week we covered the NFC and AFC South divisions. This week I've got Rosie and Alex back with me, and Austin has joined us this week, and we're going out west. Boys, we're going to the NFC and AFC West, starting with the NFC. And let's just go ahead and dive right in because we've got a lot to cover. So let's not waste any time. Let's talk about how 2022 went for these teams. 49ers went 13-4, lost in the conference championship to the Eagles. Seahawks went 9-8, made the playoffs and lost in the wild card round to the 49ers. Rams went 5-12, and Cardinals went 4-13. How this division has changed with the 49ers, assuming Brock Purdy is healthy by week 1, the 49ers will have him as a quarterback for the entire season. The Alex's Seahawks, drafted running back Zach Charbonnet, cornerback Devon Witherspoon, and wide receiver Jackson Smith and Jigba. The Rams will hopefully be getting a healthy Matt Stafford and Cooper Kupp, and they also traded away cornerback Jalen Ramsey to the Dolphins. And finally, the Cardinals brought in Jonathan Gannon as their new head coach, replacing Cliff Kingsbury, and will be without quarterback Kyler Murray for some time as he recovers from his ACL injury from last season. They also released wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins. So with all of those transactions, with how this whole division went, you had a team get to the conference championship, you had 2 teams make the playoffs, and then you had a couple top 5 picks in the Rams and the Cardinals. Or I guess were the Rams, sorry, Rosie, were they top 6? Because I know the Lions, 6. Okay, so top 6 teams and the Rams and the Cardinals. Do we think that this division got better or worse or stayed the same from 2022?
I'm going to say a little better just because Matthew Stafford is back. Although you could say Kyler Murray's gone, so maybe it's more stayed the same because one QB is coming back, but another starter is not back. He's pretty much gone for the year.
Okay, that makes sense. What do you think, Rosie?
I think worse and better. Like you can say the Seahawks got better than they were last year because of all those draft picks. Rams the team stayed the same. Stafford being back is going to help from last year.
Yeah.
And I think the 49ers got worse, and the Cardinals, they couldn't be worse than last year. Or I guess they could.
Why would you say the 49ers got worse? They're just slowly aging or something like that?
They lost a lot of free agents.
Really?
I had it pulled up.
Okay, give it to me. Because I was looking at their the list of transactions, and I saw some guys leave, but it didn't stick out. I mean, I know they lost D'Amico Ryan, their defensive coordinator. He's the head coach in Houston.
That's a big
now.
one. They also lost their right tackle, Mike McGlinchey, Jimmy G, Emmanuel Mosley at cornerback.
Jimmy G's not a big loss.
No, he's not. But let me keep going.
Fair. Okay.
Defensive back, Jimmy Ward. Jimmy Ward was really good last year. I think safety. Other safety, Travarius Moore. Offensive lineman, Daniel Brunskill. Linebacker, Aziz Al-Shair. Defensive lineman, Charles Minihu, Hassan Ridgeway, and Samson Ebukam.
So basically, McGlinchey and Ward are their notable departures.
I mean, all those guys contributed a lot, I thought, on defense. And their defense was one of the best last year. So I can see their defense taking a big step back. And if I guess we're not to them yet, but
yeah,
I'll hold it. I'll hold off.
Yeah. Okay. So let's. I don't know. When I think about if the division got better, I'll go with stay the same just because I think with the amount of firepower in this division, there feels like there's so much uncertainty still because you have the quarterback health of Brock Purdy, Matt Stafford, and Kyler Murray. So 75% of your quarterbacks, you're like, well, they're going to be healthy at some point. I don't know how long they're going to be healthy. So I don't know. To me, I have more questions than I do answers about this division. So I'm excited to kind of get into it. Let's talk about some of these big questions for each team. So for the 49ers, will Brock Purdy build on what was a very impressive rookie year and cement himself as a top 12 to 15 starter in the NFL this season?
No.
Okay. Make the case.
His sample size is 4.5 games where he played well, but I don't think
hold on. It was longer than that. Wasn't it?
6.
It's around there.
Let me pull.
Okay, let's see. I'm pulling up his game log. He played in 6 regular season games and 2 playoff games, and then he got hurt.
He didn't lose a single regular season game, right? The only loss is in the playoffs?
Only loss was when he got hurt, the first drive against the Eagles in the conference championship.
Yeah, okay.
And in those games, he threw for over 250 yards twice.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I just think the system around him is built really well and designed to succeed with really whoever's back there sort of driving the bus. But he's probably not going to be like in the top 12 range, but he might be able to push himself into that like 15th best QB, like right in the middle. I could see that, but I'm with Rosie. I don't think he's going to have enough opportunity to be like top 12, pushing top 10, something like that.
Well, and like, are we forgetting completely about his elbow? Like, that was a horrible injury that they
Well,
kind of stitched together.
yeah, it wasn't the best, but wasn't it more like a freak like nerve thing? Like he just got hit in the wrong spot at the wrong time?
I thought he basically had like Tommy John
Yeah.
or something
Like,
similar, but I mean the recovery time's different for a quarterback than a pitcher in baseball.
I mean, kind of. Yeah, I think he could have gotten Tommy John surgery, and that would have sidelined him for the whole year.
Oh, okay.
But he elected to do something else, like kind of like I said, stitching it together. I don't know what they actually do.
You're not sure if they actually use stitches.
Yeah.
I wasn't there. I couldn't say.
The dad joke came earlier.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Alex, I'll ask you, and I know, you're a little bit biased as a Seahawks fan, but
Yeah.
at the end of 2023, who do you think is going to be considered let's frame it like this. Who's going to be considered the better quarterback going into 2024? Geno Smith or Brock Purdy? Because, I mean, Geno Smith had the whole season, but you also have Brock Purdy was a rookie, and the only sample size we have of him, I would say, is very impressive, regardless of the fact that he's in a Shanahan system. But both quarterbacks are going to be trying to build off of what was a good 2022 season.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm probably going to lean Geno just because I think, crazy enough to say it like this, but his system might give him a little bit more opportunities. He's got three great weapons at receiver, and I think they're going to try and pass it just a little bit more than they have, like a more 50-50 system, whereas San Francisco, I think it's going to be more like 65% run RPO versus like 35% like stand back and pass, pocket passing, stuff like that. So I think stat-wise, Geno is going to be a little bit better. So I think he'll just be above Brock Purdy, but they'll both be in about the same range.
Okay. What do you think, Rosie?
I think the system around both of the quarterbacks is so good, it doesn't really matter how they play. Like, Kyle Shanahan made Nick Mullins look good. I'm pretty confident that he can do that with Brock Purdy or Trey Lance or Sam Darnold. So, and then with Geno, the situation around him is so good. I can't see him doing bad, but that dude had a lot of interception-worthy plays that kind of went his way last year, and I don't think that we'll see him personally perform at that level again, but I think they should be rocking.
Okay. All right, so I feel like that kind of answered my next question about the Seahawks, but if anyone has anything else to add, then we can hit it. It's the same question as Brock Purdy. Is Geno Smith going to prove that last year wasn't, a flash in the pan, and that who we saw last year is, with, a slight variance from year to year, is kind of the Geno Smith that we're to expect, at least as he's a Seahawk, in the next few years?
I mean, yeah, I think he's set up for success, like Rosie said. Like, maybe his luck will change a little bit with those interception-worthy plays, but overall, he's surrounded by all the weapons in the world. It's just up to him to really prove he is who he says he is.
And a good run game, too. Like, that's
a good run game to sort of back him up if he's having an average day or something like that. Just needs to hand it off.
It made Russ look like a good player, so.
Which we see now was, very, very impressive. All right, Rams, like I said, all these questions I think are about the quarterbacks in this division. Does Stafford have one more quality season in him, or have like that Super Bowl from 2 years ago that was like the last good Stafford season we're ever going to see?
He's healthier than he was last season. Last season he was dealing with like a shoulder, an elbow issue, I think,
and like a back too. Like he had,
or
was back during the Super Bowl. he gets hurt so much. I don't know.
Well, in the past, he's been an Iron Man in the league.
Well, he would get hurt, but he wouldn't get injured when he was in Detroit.
Right. And I think that he said that he's healthier than he was last season. And of course, you're going to say that. But last season, he was admitting before, like, I'm good to go, but I definitely feel it. That kind of thing. So
Yeah.
I think that as long as he doesn't take too many shots, I think he'll be good. I think the rest of the team is the issue with the Rams.
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't count him out, but I just don't know if he has enough weapons around him to really do anything in this division. Like, I think third and like hovering around 500, 8 and 9 would probably be best case scenario for the Rams.
Okay. Austin, you're back.
I am back. Sorry,
Okay.
I'm apparently a requirement for children's bedtime now.
All right. Let's see.
What's the
Then
question?
I'll ask. I'll let you address the question we just asked about the Rams, and then we'll keep it going. Do you think Stafford has one more quality season left in him, or?
I think he's got a quality season. I don't know if the rest of the team has a quality season.
Good answer. Good answer.
Okay.
Pretty much on par.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
mean, I think Staffy's a great quarterback. I just don't think the team around him's that great. And if Cooper Kupp goes down, I mean, you're looking at top 5 pick. So
Yep.
Okay. All right. So next we've got the Cardinals, and anyone can take this to start. Whoever is the brave soul, but can someone just make the case for why I should care about the 2023 Arizona Cardinals?
Caleb Williams.
You shouldn't. Yeah, they're just going to be on the hunt for Caleb Williams.
That's it.
Colt McCoy.
They might trade Marquise Brown. Yeah.
They should. They
Like,
absolutely
I
should.
don't even know how much he's going to play. He's listed as questionable right now already. They might just hold him out and trade him. Try and get another pick or something.
You guys aren't making a very good case.
I mean, they're going to be.
There's no case.
It's a dumpster fire right now. over there.
Personally, I don't think that Gannon is a very good coach. And I'm kind of excited to see what happens there. And
You're excited
If
to
it's
see him
one of
crash
those-
and burn?
yeah, he has to have a runway, right, to have at least 1 year. But that might be the worst thing the Cardinals get is they're horrible, and Gannon doesn't seem like he's a good coach, and so they're going to be stuck with him for a while. And for Caleb Williams' development, that could be bad.
You know what they should do is they should fire Gannon after this year and go get the Lions offense coordinator right now. What's his name, Rosie?
Ben Johnson.
Yeah. Why not? Gannon could just be a stopgap. Sort of like Nathaniel Hackett last year.
Okay, well, if those are the arguments, I don't think I'm going to care about the 2023 Arizona Cardinals, but that's not representative of the case that y'all made. I think it's just that team I think is going to be so bad, and I think they don't make odds on this, but I wish that they did. If they made odds for which team was going to be shown on Red Zone the least amount of minutes throughout the season, the Cardinals would be a pretty good bet, I think. I just think you're
Why
never going to.
don't they
What
have
about-
that?
what
That's
about-
Their
great.
defense could be shown.
What
a
about
lot on Red
defensively?
Zone.
Yeah, defensively. That's what.
Oh, that's a good point, though.
Yeah,
Like the interceptions.
they could just get dunked on. No, the defense could just,
Just
have
like
a lot
the
of
offense
touchdowns scored on
always
them.
being on their red zone, you know.
Yeah, I guess.
I guess you're just
Okay.
talking about the offense.
Yeah, if you worded it like that, that'd make more sense.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't pick this as my bet, but I saw a bet. I want to say it was about even money, or it was like minus 115, so close to even. And it was like the Cardinals to score over under 330.5 points for the entire season, which last season there were 11 teams that scored 330 or less, and it comes out to like 19 a game. And I was like, that feels like a good under, but there wasn't enough juice for me to put it as my bet, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Okay. Next up, we've got team tiers. So carrying over the tiers from last week, and if we want to add any, then of course we can. We've got Super Bowl or bust, division favorite, wild card team, living young, wild, and free, a quarterback away from being for real, tanking for Caleb, and king of mid. So we will start with the 49ers. Do we have any votes for Super Bowl or bust?
No.
Austin is raising his hand. Alex is as
Defense.
well.
Yeah, I just think they're always the NFC really isn't that like top heavy, and I think the 49ers are still in that conversation with the Eagles and I guess the Cowboys. I don't really know even right there, but
I'm just glad you put him up there.
I'm just going with Kyle Shanahan and his proven track record the last couple of years. Like they're just always around. They're a good team. Like,
Well, for Brock Purdy taking a sophomore leap,
yeah,
as much as his freshman year was in question. So.
yeah. I'm just gonna ride the trend. As much as I hate it as a Seahawks fan, I would love for them to fall off this year. But as of right now, I'm going with slight Super Bowl favor or
They're
Super
not-
Bowl or bust.
They're not worse than they were last year.
Yeah,
I think they are.
FYI,
maybe a little like marginally.
quick programming note. No one say any bad words because I usually bleep it whenever we actually post it in podcast form, but for the sake of the YouTube, because Trent is currently watching live on the YouTube with his baby daughter, so just
Hi,
PSA.
Trent.
Let's keep it buttoned up.
Yeah, just like Trent does.
Just like Trent does, exactly.
All the time. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Okay. So 2 votes for Super Bowl or bust. Rosie, are you going division favorite for the 49ers?
I'm going a QB away from being real.
Shun the non-believer.
Wow.
Like, will they be good? Yeah, sure. I don't have any faith that they can sniff the Super Bowl.
It's better than Jimmy.
That is.
No faith.
Wow.
I mean, imagine if they did have a quarterback, though. Like, imagine if they did have a quarterback. And then they would be.
Who's
yeah.
the quarterback,
Super Bowl.
though? Like, to what level?
Josh Allen or something like that.
Heck, even if they had,
mean-
like, Jalen Hurts last year.
What about
Ooh,
Kirk? What
yeah,
about
that would be
Kirk? What about
nasty.
Kirk Cousins? What if they had Kirk Cousins?
Yeah, if they had Kirk Cousins, they'd be.
No,
Sniffing the Super Bowl.
I don't know if Kirk's the right kind of QB for Kyle.
Oh, well, then let's.
Moving on.
They worked together in Washington. You know, there's some history there.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah, shut up, Alex.
Someone's been watching their quarterback.
Yeah, Okay, so we've got wild card team, 1 vote for wild card team, 2 votes for Super Bowl or bust. I was going to go with division favorites, so we'll go majority here. And Super Bowl or bust for the 49ers. The pressure is on Mr. Kyle Shanahan. Okay, next up, we've got the Seattle Seahawks. Where do we think they fall in these tiers?
Do you want me to go first?
Sure. Where do you?
All right,
Yeah, where do you think as a Seahawks fan?
I'm gonna place them in the wild card tier, but I'm gonna place them as a feisty wild card team. Like last year, they barely made it on the skin of their teeth, but this year I think they're gonna be more like in the playoff picture late in the season. Like they'll be chasing the 49ers all year, and I think the 49ers might just edge them out overall. But I think they're gonna be comfortably in the wild card situation.
I'm gonna agree with Alex here. I like that. You know, they got good weapons. Gino demonstrated himself as a competent starter last year. I don't think it was fluky. And yeah, I think they're firmly in the wild card race come playoff time.
I would say they're division favorites for me.
All
right.
right.
I think they're better
like
than the
it.
49ers at this point with
Sheesh.
better
Okay. All right.
draft picks. Yeah, get hyped, Alex. Come on.
Steak dinner. Steak dinner.
Steak dinner on 49ers and Seahawks?
Yeah, steak dinner.
Ooh.
Like, who has a better record?
What's the bet? Yeah, better record or
When
who wins the
he
division?
said winning the division, so it's winning the division.
So either team has to win a division.
You said
That's
division.
that's
favorite.
fair.
Yeah.
I'd make that bet.
All right.
Okay, how about this? And let's add a let's
Not
add
very
a,
good odds for me, though.
Let's add a
let's
beer
not-
bat.
No, let's add another layer to this. So, Austin, you're betting on the 49ers to win the division. And Rosie is betting on the Seahawks to win the division.
If the Rams or Cardinals
If the
win
Rams
division,
win the division, then both of you owe me a steak.
Oh, no.
You going Rams, Andrew?
Okay.
Andrew,
Okay,
you don't have a
if-
stake in the game.
I feel like if we split and like I bought Andrews and you bought Alex's, that would be fair.
Are they picking Rams and are they?
Yeah, are
betting the
y'all
field?
taking?
I'll take the Rams in this discussion as long as I'm not on the hook for buying two
I think
steaks.
I'm obligated.
Well, there
to
you go.
lie.
Okay.
Maybe you both. Okay, hold on. We need
There's
to
no
figure
free
out.
lunch, Andrew. I'm sorry.
If the Rams don't win the division, you Venmo each of us $5.
Okay.
I don't like
So
that.
yeah, no. If the Rams, because the Rams have worse odds. If you go
Worse
off of,
odds.
if you go off of win totals, the Rams are at 7.5. Seahawks are 8.5. The 49ers are 11.5.
Then why don't I get odds for Seahawks?
Are we just
You
doing
just
over
you
under
just
now?
you
So,
just
you gotta take Austin. You gotta take me to like
no. Let's just go
some
to like
good steak place, and I'll take you to Texas
Salt-
Roadhouse or something.
take me to Sawgrass. Come on, don't be cheap.
Roadhouse is fine.
Alex brought me hurtados, so
Yeah,
Yep.
that was very
Top
good
5
too.
taco you ever had?
dude, those
Alex,
tacos were so.
Alex, are you jumping in on this bet at all?
Let's just keep it straight up. Steak dinner.
I mean, I think I'm pretty obligated to jump on Rosie's side here.
Let's go.
I'm not
Okay.
afraid.
Well,
So if you're piggybacking on Rosie, then Andrew could just hop up with the 49ers and we could just
so okay,
Why not?
here's what we'll do. The next time all of us are in town after this bet is settled, then
how many beer bats?
We'll settle up, okay? So here's going to be the bet.
Be a Mavs game too.
If the 49ers make the or win the division, then the other three of us pay 1/3 of a steak dinner to Austin. So we split his bill 3 ways. Okay.
Okay.
If
With beer.
the Seahawks win the division, well, no. Okay, sorry. This is getting way too complicated. We'll need to think about this offline.
To be continued.
No, this is great podcasting, stream of consciousness. I want to hear it.
This is like when you move like a 2-person trade up to like a 4-team trade.
Yeah.
And you're
You're
like,
still trying
wait,
to figure out the
who's-
salary.
Who's getting the 2025 second round pick? Like it just
Yeah.
is getting too complicated.
I'm not leaving without Patrick Mahomes.
This is going to be players to be named later.
And
Is
you get
what
like
it's discussed.
you get everyone to agree on it, and one guy's like, I don't know, it feels a little lopsided. I might need a little bit more, and you're like, okay. We'll come back to that. We'll try to figure out what that's going to be. Maybe we'll say it on next week's podcast what we decided.
Rosie has to trade me Justin Herbert
Hell
For
no.
a 3rd round pick.
for a third.
So for the Seahawks, did we land on wild card team?
Yeah.
Is that the
Yeah.
consensus?
Is that what you
That's
had
fine.
Yeah.
This is the
before?
consensus.
Because Rosie kind of blew that one up with division favorite.
Yeah.
It's just one step up, guys.
It could happen. You never know.
All right. Next, we've got the Rams.
I hope.
Rams, I'm going with wild card team.
I think we
think
need a
we're-
new category for the Rams.
King of mid is what I'm
Yeah,
going.
I was gonna say mid, but what's your category idea?
Like a hit or miss category. Like
You could call it like the Icarus category. and they're either,
The
like,
Joey
flying
Gallo
high.
tier.
They're-
It's
No,
either going to be
Joey
a
Gallo
home
just
run or they're
sucked.
going to strike out. It's
He might
either going to
walk.
be like the Rams of 2 years ago, or it's going to be.
I
the
feel like
Rams
the
of last year
Rams
where they
home
just get
run is
hurt.
like 10-7 though.
I could
Yeah,
see
they're mid.
everything breaking right, and they win 11 games.
Mid.
In the NFC,
In the NFC maybe.
Sean McVay.
Mid.
I think they're mid.
But they're better than mid. I think
They
they,
are
can
better
beat
than
any
mid.
team.
They can be better than mid,
Their
but
ceiling,
I
like
think
Austin
they
said,
will be mid.
Their ceiling
What's-
is like a little bit better than mid. But
what's a
it's probably
what's
gonna
a
be
step above mid?
Just right step above mid.
mid. 10-7, like 9-8, 10. I even think 9-8 would probably be maybe considered mid, so probably 10-7, right?
Middle.
If
Ace of- we could say
they're like the emperor of mid. Like they go
Ace
step
of
up.
middle.
Like I'd say mid would probably be considered like 8, 9, 9-8, right
Should
around
we-
there.
That is by definition mid, Alex. Thank you for putting that
Yeah, but
out.
they could also suck.
Just
That's the
explain
thing.
it for the
Like they could be
Yeah.
the worst team in the division.
Okay,
Pretty
maybe.
easy.
This is preseason.
Okay,
I'm
how
going
about
King.
this? Maybe we call them.
I'm sticking to king of mid.
Okay,
Heels on
let's,
the ground.
let's keep it in like king like deck of card references. Let's call them like the ace of spades, where like it's blackjack. They could be a 1 or they could be an 11, and it's like you don't know what you're gonna get.
Could call him blackjack.
Nah, they're mid.
I like blackjack. I like blackjack. better than Ace of Spades. But
The
I'm still gonna
blackjack.
call them. But I'm still gonna call them mid.
The mid jack.
No, just mid. Just
All
give me
right.
mid.
I don't think they get an extra tier. I think they're just mid.
The blackjack idea was good because they could either win one game or 11.
Yeah.
Let's get the Cardinals out of the way.
All right.
Going for
Cardinals. Division favorite? Yeah.
QB away from
any
being
opposition to tanking for Caleb?
I don't think so.
Rosie's like Super Bowl or buzz.
Almost said it.
All right. One fantasy guy to watch from the 49ers. Who do y'all have?
I got Kittle. You know, he started slow and then really picked it up. I don't know. If he sucks with Brock Purdy, get rid of him.
I heard something
He
on a
was
podcast.
Get rid of
good.
him,
He was
yeah.
good with Brock Purdy.
All right, then don't get rid of him.
I like
And
it.
in the last like 2 years, I think the stat is he hasn't scored, or he hasn't had between 40 and 70 receiving yards.
So he hasn't
Wait.
been mid. He's the epitome of boomer bust tight end.
Yeah.
Like per game, you mean?
No, like
like
in
ever.
the last 2 years, like game by game, he hasn't.
He's never
been-
had under 40 receiving yards.
No, he's had either under 40 receiving yards or over 70 receiving yards.
Yeah.
Boomer bust. all right.
Whatever podcast you heard that on was a fake news podcast, and people should be listening to Making the Call instead, because week
Uh-oh.
5 last year he had 5 receptions for 47 yards.
No,
Okay,
it's-
maybe it is. Maybe that's the cutoff right there.
Maybe it's like
47.
50 to 70, because that checks out but that's like a pretty small range. I don't know.
20 yards.
It's like 50 to 80 or something.
20 yards.
I think George Kittle is one of the most frustrating, dominant fantasy players to have on your team.
I agree.
If you ever seen him in person, though, he's insane. He's like
Yeah.
a WWE guy playing tight end.
Well,
Like
yeah, if
last-
I could afford
Good
to
luck
go
trying to
watch a
tackle that
Niners
man.
game, yeah, I would go. Yeah, but I don't.
Last year he was
I
the
would have
tight
suggested
last
Aaron
year,
Tinney.
last year he was the number 3 tight end in all of fantasy, and he didn't play 2 games.
That's so gross.
He didn't play 2 games,
tight
and
end's
he
pretty
also had
bad.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games of single digits, and he was a tight end 3.
Blackjack.
Yeah, because they'll get like 40.
Blackjack.
Blackjack.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe we need player tiers. That'd take too long.
Oh, no, but next year we should totally do it. That would be great.
Those
Yeah.
would be 2+ hour podcast.
We'll put a pin in that.
Oh, hey, we'll do the Substack.
Craig, write
for
that down.
player
Remind
tiers.
us this time next year
Craig.
to do that.
Craig, set a reminder.
Oh, Craig.
All right.
August
Who has
7th,
someone? Who has
2024.
someone other than Kittle?
Go ahead, Alex. I guess you put him first. My
So me
wonderful,
and Rosie
wonderful
have
boy.
Brandon Ayuk, and I've been a Samuel guy the last couple of years, but I think this is the year to hop off the train. Debo's finally probably going to
Last
fall
year
off
was.
just a little bit. Yeah, last year might have been it, but I think Brandon Ayuk's sort of going to take over Debo Samuel's role. He's just a little bit younger and doesn't have as much mileage on him compared to Debo. So I think he's going to be the guy in the 49ers offense receiver-wise.
I'm too early on all these guys. On all the guys that I love, I'm too early.
Huh. Anything else to add on Ayuk, Rosie?
The training camp hype has been insane for Ayuk. He looks like the best player on the field, and that's with Christian McCaffrey, Debo Samuel, George Kittle. I think he's great. I've been trying to get him back after I gave up on him last year.
No question about it. You are ready to get hurt again.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
I wanted to put Ayuk, but I knew that someone was going to list him, so I wanted to think of someone else. And I'm kind of buying Debo Samuel. Am I crazy?
He'll give you 10 fine games.
I don't think you're crazy. I think he's still going to produce when he's healthy. It's just I'm concerned about his physical nature and
He's
his
in the best
age.
shape
What
of
if
his
he-
life, though. Have you heard all those reports? He was
I
sending
mean, that's every
Kyle
offseason.
Shanahan risque pictures during the offseason about how jacked he is now.
Interesting.
Sus.
I mean, he's on the latter half of 25. He's 27 now. And just the way, like I said, the way he
27
plays.
is fine.
27's fine, but it's like once you get to 28, 29, that's when you start getting concerned. So maybe I'm concerned a year too early, but it's just something to monitor, honestly.
I mean, where is he going in drafts right now?
Ayuk
So like
No.
in
or
redraft,
Debo?
probably like fourth, fifth round, you think, right? In like a 12-team league.
Let's see. ADP from Fantasy Pros. If we look at, you want to go full PPR?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Debo has an ADP of 38 of everyone. Wide
Yeah, you
receiver
know what?
16.
So it's like third round, probably.
Fourth round.
Okay.
I would say that's just a little bit too high for me.
So he's getting drafted right ahead of Aaron Jones, Calvin Ridley, Amari Cooper, and TJ Hawkinson. In a redraft PPR, I mean, if you're getting some rushing upside, not a ton because they have McCaffrey now, but
Right.
some. I don't know. I don't really have. I think I don't think you're going to see Deebo Samuel from 2 years ago, but I don't think you're going to see Deebo Samuel from last year. You're probably going to get somewhere in between, and to me that's a good fantasy player. So
Yeah. Unless
All right.
Ayuk breaks out.
Unless Ayuk breaks out, yes, of course. Seahawks, I went with Zach Charbonnet because I think it was Trent who was making this point on the podcast a few weeks ago about Kenneth Walker that like all the advanced, maybe it was Rosie, I forget who it was. All the advanced metrics last year were like awful for him. Like the tackles behind the line of scrimmage and like negative yards and like just I don't know. He had a lot of breakout runs, but like all the advanced metrics didn't really like
I
his
would
rookie year.
I would highly disagree with that. I think he made a lot of people miss last year in the backfield.
You did watch more games than any of us.
I watched all of them. So
I think it's like his expected rush rate was one of the worst.
yeah, because he didn't have the best run blocking, so he had to make a lot
Well,
of guys.
it takes that into account, I guess.
Let me see.
But-
I don't know if I can find it, but
I also think his offensive line is going to be a little bit better than it was last year.
2 rookie tackles last year.
Yeah, so they're in their second year, and they just drafted a new center. I don't know if he's going to play center to start off, but they also got another center.
yeah, I don't know. They go out and they draft Charbonnet, and I know there was all the jokes of Pete Carroll just loves his running backs, but I don't think you draft a running back that high. If
He's definitely going to be a 1B option. Like, he'll get his opportunities, 10, maybe 12 to 15 carries later in the year once he figures out the system a little bit more.
yeah,
The thing about Charbonnet, and I guess I'll talk about my guy too, it's Ken Walker.
Yeah.
I don't really like the talent of Charbonnet. He's just kind of a plotter. But at this point in the NFL, that's what coaches like. And so I know he's going to be stealing touches from Kenneth Walker more than he should. You saw it with Brian Robinson and Antonio Gibson last year. Like Brian Robinson sucked, but it doesn't matter because he runs the ball straight. So,
exactly.
but I just like to bet on the better talent. And Kenneth Walker is going low enough at this point in drafts to where I'm fine taking him where he's going because he's going to have games where he's going to explode. And I personally think he's better than Charbonnet, and hopefully that will see itself out.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're going to be talking this time next year. Or I don't even think it's going to take that long. I think 6-7 weeks into the season, we're going to be talking about how Charbonnet has grabbed the starting job and Ken Walker is like the third down back. Maybe I'm wrong,
see it.
but
I like to say this too. He was a rookie last year, so like all those advanced stat stuff, like him kind of dodging a little bit in the backfield. I want to see one more year before I write him off and say that he's just a boomer bust runner.
Yeah. Okay. Here was one of the stats. He led the league last year in tackles for lost yards, and negative 83. That was one of the stats that I had heard of, but I don't know. I think Walker's still a fine player, but I feel like I've seen this story before, where a running back does really well, then the team goes out and spends a premium draft pick on another running back, and people are denying how much that new running back is going to be playing. So, who else has a fantasy player on the Seahawks that they want to highlight?
I'll go next. I picked Jackson Smith and Jigba. I think he's just going to be electric. I think his perfect comp is honestly a guy who's on his team in Tyler Lockett. Although Tyler Lockett's rookie season, he had, I got it right here. He had 644 yards receiving. I think he's going to be a little bit better than that, just because the Seahawks offense is a little bit different than it was back then. They still had Marshawn Lynch and all that, but I think you can expect like 750 to 800 yards receiving with him, and like 6 to 8 passing or receiving touchdowns is probably the right number to be around. But I just think his rookie year, he's going to be pretty dynamic, maybe flirting with the offensive rookie of the year if everything goes right for him. But overall, I think he'll be hovering around that 25 to 30 receiver ranking with the upside of maybe getting into the top 20.
I hate the Tyler Lockett slander. You take that back.
What do you mean? It's not slander. It's just the offense was a little bit different back then.
I think he's going to be better than Lockett this year.
This
Overall,
year.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see it. Like maybe they
Hey,
like
that's what they've been
double
saying
cover
about
Lock
DK
a little bit
every
more.
single year.
I believe
Hasn't happened.
I put JSN in mine too, though. I believe in that guy. Wide receiver university.
What
Ohio State.
I don't know, man. Does it feel like you might feel this way, Rosie? But it feels like the fantasy community, Tyler Lockett gets overlooked every season, and he just continues to crank out quality year after quality year.
It's Mr.
And it's like-
consistency.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
and it's just like, yeah, they drafted Smith and Jigba, who I love. Like, I think that's a great pick, but I don't think that Lockett is just gonna like go away quietly into the night. Like, I think Lockett's
that's
still
not what
gonna
I'm
have a good season.
That's not what I was saying. I think they're going to be all three are going to be a great tandem and feed off each other.
Not
Okay.
for fantasy.
True.
Who's gonna have more
More
fantasy
mouth
points this
speed.
year,
Yeah.
Lockett or Smith and Jigba?
Lockett.
Yeah, I'll still stay Lockett, but it's going to be real close.
Okay. Let's see. Moving on. Austin, you said Smith and Jigba. Anything else to add?
No, that's good.
Okay.
Except I think I might take JSN in the fantasy conversation.
Okay. Rams, I'm going with Cooper Kupp, which feels very basic, but who else? Like 2 years ago, Cooper Kupp broke all the records, won the Triple Crown, had 191 targets, 145 receptions for almost 2,000 receiving yards, which has never been done before, 1,947, and 16 touchdowns. And why should I not think that he's going to do close to the exact same thing again this year?
I mean, he was great last year too.
He was. Before he got hurt, he was what, like number 2 wide receiver behind Tyreek Hill?
Yep. I mean, he's just one of the best wide receivers in the NFL.
I'm looking at like his first 5 games of the season last year. He ended up playing 8 full games and then got hurt in the 9th game. First 5 games of the season, here were his target numbers: 15, 14, 6, 19, and 10. Who else is catching passes? I mean, we might talk about a few of them, but if Stafford is healthy and Kupp is healthy, why should we not pencil Kupp in for 1,700 yards, 130 catches, and 12 touchdowns?
Okay, 1,700 yards might be a stretch. That's just a lot of yards.
Who else is going to catch passes?
He had
Well,
almost
Higbee?
2,000
Right.
last year or 2 years ago.
Higbee's there.
You think
There's a couple guys that are good though.
Higbee's not taking yards from Cooper Cup.
He's not taking yards, but he's another mouth to feed. I'd argue he's probably their second option.
Van Jefferson's pretty good. There's been a lot of hype around Puka Nakua.
Who?
I said no cussing, Rosie.
Rosie continues this streak of people that we've never heard of.
Oh my.
Hey, so
I know,
Cooper Cup.
they're not stepping into Cooper Cup's world.
Cup 1750 receiving yards is plus 330. If you want to take the over on 1,750 receiving.
Plus 330.
Plus 330.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
I'd say
enticing.
Sprinkle.
I think I'd say safely he's going to get 1,500 yards if he stays healthy, but 1,700, 1,750 might be close to pushing it. Like the Rams would have to sort of outdo their expectations if he's going to get that many yards.
Well, here's the thing, though.
It's only 14 more yards a game.
Their defense is trash. They have
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Donald and nothing else now that Jalen Ramsey's gone.
And I bet Aaron
So-
Donald's going to get shipped off mid-season.
I don't know
I mean,
about that.
if they were smart,
I don't
I
think
think
they
that's
do
what
that
they
to
would
him.
do.
I don't think
But-
they're good.
okay,
They won't
let's-
do that to him.
Why else would you keep Aaron Donald on a mid-team? Like, they're not going to win the Super Bowl. Their expectation is probably wild card.
I mean, he
maybe
wasn't
win the
even
wild
sure he
card
was
round.
going to come back this year. So I think he might just want to finish it out in LA.
I think the Rams have one more shot
Maybe.
in them.
I do too.
Oh.
But that's going to come on the back of the offense. Like, I think the offense is good enough to like carry the defense, kind of like the
But, like-
Vikings last year.
Yeah, but like, who's their secondary? They just lost Ramsey. I think they lost somebody else. I can't remember his name, but
Rosie, tell us somebody that we don't know again.
They just signed Josh Johnson,
who?
safety.
The journeyman?
It's pretty good. No, not that guy. That's
Okay,
quarterback.
let's here.
They got
Not
Stetson
that
Bennett.
Johnson.
I'll end the
That's
Cooper
great.
Cup. I'll end the Cooper Cup conversation here, and then we'll talk about some of your fantasy players. If Stafford is, let's say Stafford plays 14 games, maybe he misses a couple, but let's say for the most part he's healthy. Is it fair to assume that he gets 4,000 passing yards?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's divide those 4,000 passing yards up because someone's got to catch him.
Okay,
Cooper
I
Kupp,
see where
Tyler
you're going.
Higbee, Van Jefferson. Like,
Cam Akers probably going to get 1,000.
1,000 receiving yards.
let's say Cam Akers gets 500.
Oh my
Tyler-
gosh.
That'd be pretty good.
Yeah, let's say he gets 500. Let's say Tyler Higbee gets 750, and Van Jefferson gets 1,000. That's 2,250. Guess how many more is left over?
All right.
What about little Tutu? What is he getting?
2
Okay, he gets 50 yards, and that still leaves 1,700 for Cooper Kupp.
50 yards.
But you see my point. Like, if you're thinking Stafford's going to get 4,000 yards,
Yeah, he's
I'm not
just got to
sure
stay
that's
healthy
how
the
that
whole
works.
season.
But
it's
Cooper
math,
Kupp and
Rosie.
Matthew Stafford. It's all about them staying healthy.
Yeah. All right. Someone give me another fantasy player for the Rams.
I went with Tyler Higbee just because when Stafford was healthy and playing with Higbee, like they had a decent connection. Honestly, I think he's their second best receiving option on the whole team. So I feel like he's going to get his and be like around a top 10 tight end, like fringe, like 8 to 10. Just because the tight end position is so like top heavy, and after that, there's not much to really compete with anyways. So
he's
think
getting
Tyler
slept
Higbee-
on. I think he's going to
Yeah.
get some volume.
he's gotten
He kinda
slept on the last
stinks,
couple of years,
but-
but he's been a premium top 10 tight end. He's, 3 years in a row now, I think?
Yeah. If he could learn to catch the ball, he'd be really, really good.
I think he does well enough in that department. He could do
It's like
better, I agree.
it's like the Moneyball meme. Billy, this is Tyler Higbee. He's one of the most slept on, underrated tight ends in the game. His only flaw is he doesn't know how to catch the ball.
Great blocker, though. My goodness.
Holy crap! Last year he was the tight end 6.
That's what I'm saying.
This
People
is
sleep on him.
This is crazy. In PPR last year, he was the tight end 6. In standard, he was the tight end 15. What a contrast.
That's why you got to play PPR.
That's crazy. Okay. Anyone else?
Yeah. Cam Akers, we're running it back.
Here we
we don't come off of takes. I would.
Shame!
Don't shame me.
Shame!
I don't deserve this.
You need a bonk. You need a
got
bonk.
no real competition, so
We do need
he's
a
the guy
bonk.
again.
You need a bonk audio for that.
I was right in a way.
You said
I
top
was-
5.
Yeah. I was crying and screaming that Darrell Henderson freaking sucks and that Cam Akers should get the ball over him. And where's Darrell Henderson now? Tell me that.
Is he on that? Did they kick him off? Is he not on the team anymore? I haven't really been following Darrell.
He got waived
Henderson's career.
mid-season.
Oh,
Went to the Jags and then got waived again. Now he's not on a team. That guy
XFL
sucks.
baby.
And now when Cam Akers gets the rock at the end of the season, he was a top 5 running back last year. You just got to look at the last 3 games. So, carrying forward, Cam Akers is the only guy there. I like their draft because they went like almost exclusively offensive linemen with their picks.
Protect Staffy at all costs.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So what I'm hearing from you is that a small sample size at the end of the season is good for Cam Akers, but it doesn't mean anything for Brock Purdy.
Right. If it fits
Okay.
my priors.
Yes. Okay. It's like small sample size is like training camp reports. If it confirms your bias, then it's real. And if it doesn't, it's like, you just got to cast that aside.
I mean, I was saying that that's probably not a great thing, but I'm going to choose to believe it anyway.
Okay. Let's see. And then,
I don't want to piggyback off anybody because those are really the only 3 guys there. So
okay. Cardinals. Anyone? Bueller?
Yeah.
I just
You
I
threw
could
in
go
James.
all day.
Okay, well, we've already gone 40 minutes. So give us a couple. Because my fantasy option was the opposing team's defense if you play in leagues with fantasies or with defense. But
That's going to be the number 1 scorer for sure. Trey McBride, though, don't sleep on him. He was the first tight end taken last year. And he was pretty good when Zach Ertz got hurt. So now that Hopkins is gone, like who's going to be a target there? I think Trey McBride's pretty good. And then
I like
Rondale
that,
Moore.
actually.
Rondale Moore, they'll have him playing in the slot, and they didn't last year. Hopefully they'll use him better because he's a good talent. But I think he's a late flyer kind of guy. So
okay.
there you go.
Anyone else? Or can we move on to more exciting topics?
We can just move on, honestly.
Okay.
Doesn't really matter.
Betting picks. Someone give me one.
I got Rams to lose in the wild card round plus 500.
So they make the playoffs and lose in the wild card round.
I feel like that's pretty good odds.
that's pretty good.
5-1. I mean, yeah, that's worth a little sprinkle, a little dash.
Like they don't even have to win a playoff game.
But
I saw
it's
the
not.
Steelers get in. Oh no, it didn't.
It's like it's the exact outcome, right? So like if they win a playoff game, then you lose, right?
a good point.
So like you're predicting the exact outcome that like they make the playoffs and they lose in the first round.
That makes more sense, but I feel like that's the most likely scenario. So
Okay. All right. Austin, what do you have?
I took Geno over 300 yards in 8 games, plus 420. He was over 250 in 8 games.
I like that.
He was over 250 in 8 games last year, and his receiving core got better with Smith and Jigba.
Good
Okay.
pick.
And so I like it this year.
All right. Alex.
All right, so I sort of had fun with this one. I went any Seattle Seahawks player to have 12-plus rushing or receiving TDs in the regular season. It's plus 550. And I'm going to caveat with this with saying I'm making the call that the Seahawks as a whole...
Wait.
Alex,
We have a way of doing things here.
I'm not going to reckon.
we have
established-
technology.
What are you doing?
I am making the call. right, I'm making the call that the Seahawks offense as a whole this year is going to be top 4 in the league. Just overall, they have weapons all over the place, and I think their defense, while they're building something, they're still pretty young, minus like Diggs and Adams, if he can even play 10 games a year. So I think the offense is going to be really what leads this team,
What
and
did
they're
he
going to
do?
lean on it heavily.
What did he do wrong?
So when Alex, when are you going to
Adam?
make that call?
What?
When are you going to make that call? Because you're
Right now.
making the call to make that call.
Making the call
That-
today, August 7th.
So you're supposed to
No.
just say your call.
I'm making the call. Beep beep
Whatever.
beep beep. Then you don't say I'm making the call again.
I need to have one of those whiteboards that's like it's been this many days since someone correctly made the call and just like add it just each week. 'Cause
Let's zero-
it's been about
let's zero right
150
now.
days. It's been a while.
Meanwhile, since your last nonsense, it's been.
It was like what was it a few weeks ago where as the sound effect was playing or right as it ended, Austin
I
goes,
said-
"That was my greatest contribution to the podcast." It's like, "Ooh, dude, come on." So top 4 in the league in offense.
Yeah.
Is the prediction. I mean, that seems high, but
Who, like, other than like the Chiefs, who would you pick like over them minus the Chiefs, like off the top of your head?
if Burrow's
Lions.
healthy, I would say Bengals.
Yeah, it's just there's a big
Probably the
caveat
Bills,
there.
but again, I don't hate it. Like I can see if that happens, it's not going to surprise me. So I like it. Okay. Let's see. I don't know. Austin has his kid. What are you pointing at, Rosie?
She was pointing at me.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't so the way webcams work is when you just point at them, it looks the same for all of us. So like
You gotta,
it doesn't.
you gotta do this.
Yeah, I understand how webcams work.
Okay. All right.
My kid's gone now.
All
She's
right.
refusing to go to sleep because I'm
So
not-
we've got Alex's. We've also got Austin's. Rosie, what's your betting pick?
I went first.
That's right. Okay, so it's just me.
some host.
I know. Get a load of this guy. I went with the Rams to have 1+ touchdown in every single regular season game. Not, just receiving, not just rushing, just 1 touchdown.
What about defense? Does defense count in there?
It's just they have to score a touchdown every game, and it's plus 150, so it's not like crazy high odds, but you're getting plus money on it. And
If Cup goes down, you're screwed.
did they have a game last year where they did not score?
Probably Baker Mayfield game.
It's not a whole
Hey,
season.
he did well
not-
He didn't.
his first game.
Oh, somebody took Devon. Oh,
Let me see. I'm gonna look it up. Baker had a nice
Baker-
little resurgence.
Baker
had a
fresh
good
off the
first game.
bus, undefeated.
When you had no film on him, it was over.
Let's see. They had. Let's see.
Baker
the
Mayfield is
score.
like Johnny Football if he would study and try. I just feel like
Yeah, I agree.
yeah.
Okay, it looks like last year they had one game where they did not score a touchdown. They lost to the 49ers 24-9.
Oh yeah, you got to play them twice.
Yeah, that would be their tricky opponent.
I still like it though. I mean, that's what I'm.
As long as they stay healthy, I think it's a good bet.
Yeah, double
Yeah.
down, Andrew. Double
Okay,
down.
final prediction for the division order. Who's winning the division?
Seahawks.
The
Seahawks.
Rams. I'm just kidding. It's the Niners.
I'm going with the 49ers too. So we're tied.
Come on, Trent. All right.
Should I call
can-
Trent?
You should call Trent.
Oh, he's gonna pick the Niners. This is a waste of a phone call.
He's gonna say the Cardinals, and we're gonna have to do rock paper scissors. Don't cuss, Trent. Please don't cuss. Please don't cuss.
What
He's
the
not
heck do you want?
Hey, who is? We're live recording the podcast right now. Who is going to win the NFC West? The Seattle Seahawks or the 49ers? 49ers.
Yeah.
Boo.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Predictable.
Ask him if he wants in on a steak dinner bet.
Austin and I chose the 49ers, and Rosie and Alex chose the Seahawks.
All right, I'm confident with my pick.
You're regretting your pick?
No, I'm confident.
Oh, you're confident. Okay. Good to hear. All right. Thanks. Love
Wait.
you.
So my vote counts as 2.
Yes. It was a tiebreaker, so it counts for $1 million. All right. Thanks. Bye.
Wait, so Trent picked with me, and he
He
said
did.
it was good?
Yeah.
Somebody write that down.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thunk it? Okay.
Not
So
me.
we've got the 49ers winning it. So do we have the Seahawks coming in second,
Yeah.
Yeah.
followed by the
Yeah.
Rams and then the Cardinals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, real quick, because we've almost done an hour and we still have a whole nother division to do. Over under picks on win totals. 49ers at 11.5.
Under.
Over.
Okay,
Nah, they're
so
11-6. Maybe 10-7.
I'll go with under as well.
Ah, dang it. Steak dinner.
You love steak dinner bets because you're 1-0 in them.
I love steak dinner bets because they turn into Hurtados at Rangers game bets.
We didn't even go to. I mean, it was
was
still pretty
brisket.
expensive.
Wait, I don't want to root for the Seahawks. I forget about that. Dang it.
No, it's okay. We'll root for each other.
Over under 8.5 for
We'll
the
meet the
Seahawks.
NFC champion.
I'm going
Over.
over.
8.5. Yeah, give me that over. Easy.
Over all. Okay. Rams over under 7.5.
Over.
Slightly over. Yeah. I feel like
Like-
8 and 9 is
like-
perfect for them.
8 wins.
Okay, I'm going over as well. And then Cardinals over under 5.5. If they win one game, I
Under.
consider it a success.
Yeah, they're
Under
winning 4 games max. That's an under.
Rosie?
What did they do last year?
4 and 13.
Wait. We led the podcast with this.
They were
4 and 13.
And that was with Kyler Murray for most of the year.
Yeah.
I think they're a 5-win team.
Colt
So I
McCoy,
guess I'll go
baby.
under.
Under.
Oh,
Okay.
you already wrote all? Okay. Presumptuous.
Yeah.
Have you not been working with me these 2 years?
I was making the call. What can I say?
Hey, you didn't do it right.
I'm going to make the call that the Liquid IV ad read is next.
All right, coming up before we get to the AFC West Division preview, let me tell you about our good friends over at Liquid IV. And if you're watching on the YouTube, you can see that the bag behind me has changed. I've swapped out what was the sugar-free lemon lime for what I can
What's in
say
the bag?
confidently for the delicious sugar-free white peach hydration multiplier from Liquid IV. Got it in the mail. It came in super fast. I got it, I think last Friday or something before the weekend. And I don't know how y'all feel about like peach flavored stuff. Like I love peach tea. I love any peach cobbler. Like peach is just, that's my jam. And the white peach Liquid IV is delicious. It is so good. I had the first bottle and I was like, okay, when can I have, is it too soon to have a second bottle of this? Cause it was so good. Go try their sugar-free. I've already tried the lemon lime and the white peach. They've got one more flavor. I forget it off the top of my head, but that's what I'm going to be trying next. I'm just going to try the entire line of sugar-free products at Liquid IV. It hydrates you twice as fast as water alone, has 3 times the electrolytes of traditional sports drinks. And you can go try Liquid IV today and get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code MTC at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code MTC at liquidiv.com. All right. AFC West, gentlemen.
Finally.
How 2022 went for these teams. The Chiefs, 14-3, won the Super Bowl, no big deal.
Mid.
Chargers went 10-7, made the playoffs. Lost in wild card round to the Jaguars. The Raiders went 6-11, and the Broncos went 5-12. And then how this division has changed from last year. The Chiefs lost offensive tackle Orlando Brown, wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster, and wide receiver Mecole Hardman in free agency. Chargers brought in Kellen Moore to be their new offensive coordinator and drafted wide receiver Quentin Johnston out of TCU. Let's see. What the heck? I added a note about the Jaguars here, but they are clearly not in the AFC West, so we're just going to move on to the Raiders.
What?
Raiders brought in
Not worth it all.
Jimmy Garoppolo as their new quarterback, and the Broncos
fooled
brought
me.
in. What's that?
So you could have fooled me with the Jaguars in the AFC West.
Maybe
I
I
don't
should
have
do
a-
that. Maybe I should just add like a team to see who catches it.
New segment, Austin. Which team is not in this division?
New segment. We do Jeopardy where we just make Austin guess all the division teams.
The Niners are in the East, right?
Hold up the left and right. Hold up the L's. Yeah, that sounds right.
This is how many it would take.
The Broncos brought in Sean Payton to be their new head coach. Okay. With all those changes based on how their records went, do we think that this division as a whole, got better, worse, or stayed the same from last year?
Better.
If they added the Jaguars, they really got better. So
It would smash their win total as a division.
they would.
Cheat
I
code.
think the division got better. I mean, the Chiefs took some hits, but I think Kadarius Toney, if he's ready week 1, it's going to be a good wide receiver 1.
He's already hurt, right?
Yeah, I know. That's why if he's
Okay.
week 1. That's
All
what
right.
I said.
All right, okay.
I caveated it.
Okay.
I don't think the Broncos are going to be as bad as they were last year. I don't think there's any way. But some of you may feel differently. And then, Chargers bringing in Kellen Moore. I don't think that moves the needle that much. But I like Quentin Johnson a lot. So, Johnston.
Okay.
They got better.
Rosie, what do you think?
I think the Chargers got a lot better. Just moving away from the old offensive coordinator makes them a lot better. Chiefs stay the same. Raiders, probably worse. Probably worse without Derek Carr. I think they're going to be really bad. And then Broncos can't get worse than your home stadium counting down the clock for you.
In what, like week 1 or week 2? Like it was early in the season when they started to do that.
I think it was a little bit later though, because that makes it even worse.
I don't know. I remember it being early. Maybe it was like week 3, but it was for sure like within the first like 6 weeks of the season.
Yeah, can't get worse than that.
Can't get worse than that. No, absolutely. Okay, let's see. One big question for each team. I'll start with the Chiefs. Who's going to emerge as a top pass catcher outside of Travis Kelce?
Clyde.
Tony.
Clyde.
Go ahead, Austin. You got it.
Clyde says words Flair.
Flair.
Sound like Tua after a concussion.
Holy.
Or Tim Anderson this past weekend.
Speaking of Tua, what division are the Dolphins in? Yeah, I don't know.
AFC North.
I think it's going to be – I was just making a joke. Though I probably would have asked that. Kadarius Toney for me.
Same.
I'm going Sky Moore.
Thank you. Yes.
At least
I'm
you know
tired of
somebody we've
Tony's
heard of.
shenanigans and his styrofoam body.
Write it
That's
down.
an insult to styrofoam, dude. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Sky
so
Moore,
good.
I think we're gonna get a year 2 leap out of him. So he's my pick as well.
What about Justin Ross? Is anybody in on him?
Didn't he just
He
retire?
retired just now.
No.
You're thinking of John Ross.
John Ross. No, Justin Ross. Justin Ross just retired. John Ross.
No.
I just cut it.
You've got it.
Did you
got
cut
it
him?
flipped. You're
Hold on.
dyslexic. You got it flipped. You got it flipped.
You
I
got it
cut the one
flipped,
that
big boy.
retired. I cut the one that retired.
That's John Ross.
Yeah.
Justin Ross with a Y is only 23 years old.
So, but he's like buried in their depth chart, right? He's like wide
He's
receiver
been
number
working with the
4.
first team.
He's been impressing in training camp. Take that for what it's worth.
Just because
If it fits
Tony's
your agenda, yeah.
hanged up.
It doesn't. I don't want it to, but there's also Rashee Rice.
I don't really think it matters. The Chiefs are just going to be the Chiefs. They're going to
When did they
produce.
pick up Ray Rice?
There might just be a bunch of mouths to feed outside of Kelsey.
He's the
and they
ball.
might just all take from each other.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's still going to be Kelsey's offense, but I'm rooting for my guy Sky Moore to have his breakout year this year. Let's go to the Chiefs or the Chargers next. Is this finally going to be the year when we see Justin Herbert unleashed?
I hope.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
yeah, but it's still the Chargers. They're still a cursed franchise. Something bad's always going to happen with them.
It's different this year.
No,
They've
it's
got like
not.
4 legit wide receiver options this year.
Yeah, and 2 of them will be hurt by week 8.
And so the other 2 will
Like they
take over.
always are. Until I see different, I just think the Chargers.
Maybe
are
they
a little
won't be
bit
hurt at the same time, and you still have either Williams or Allen, and then you've
Well,
got Quentin
That's
Johnson.
the best they can hope for, honestly.
Maybe. Austin Eckler. They'll dump. He gets yards if they dump it to him.
Feed it to him.
Are
somewhere,
we
too.
sure that Justin Herbert doesn't like dumping it off from time to time? Like, are we sure it was all on Lombardi last year?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure we were sure.
Well, I mean, he's going to do what he's told. I wish he wouldn't, but
Yeah, if he has to go to his emergency outlet, he's gonna do that. That's just what the QB is supposed to do.
Yeah. Okay. And all right, let's see. Moving on, Raiders. This is kind of a question, but more I just want everyone on the record right now. Are they going to trade Devontae Adams midseason?
Yes.
Gonna trade him to like the Rams or something.
The
Imagine
Rams
Devontae Adams on the Chiefs.
or the Bills.
on the Chiefs. That wouldn't be fair. I
I'm
don't
a
want
Chi-
to imagine
but-
Devontae Adams on the Chiefs. I don't.
Oh, I got a good one. How about the Jets?
Okay.
Are we sure that like him and Rodgers would gel? I mean, do we like?
I don't
Yeah.
know, man. That's a.
You know, I got another one.
Okay, the Jets are winning the Super Bowl if they get Devontae Adams.
I've heard that Derek Carr is his
What
best
about
friend.
the Ravens? The Ravens.
So maybe the
Ravens.
Saints.
How about the Ravens?
Okay, you want to hear something really filthy?
Hey, let's name all the teams while we're at it.
Imagine Devontae Adams lining up opposite of Justin Jefferson.
Okay. Same thought experiment. Imagine him lining up opposite of CeeDee Lamb.
I mean,
Both would be awesome.
if I had to choose, I would rather see him opposite of CeeDee Lamb. You're right, Alex. That's my non-biased opinion. I think that I would enjoy that. Yes.
Let's see, which teams haven't we named yet? Let's dream about those.
Imagine him on the Texans.
How about the Eagles?
Now with that enterprise manager QB.
Devontae Adams to the Bears confirmed. Justin Fields. QB1.
All right, and then finally, I'm going on the record too. They are going to trade him midseason. And then finally, the Broncos. Can Sean Payton turn this into a playoff team in year one?
No.
I think so, yeah. Wild card.
Are we sure Sean Payton's good? Like really good as a coach? Like I know it's like
I think
last year was horrible.
You're going to get the
So-
best out of Sean Payton his first couple of years under the helm. And then eventually it's going to sort of stagnate and just sort of fall off slowly, like it did with the Saints and Drew Brees. So
Yeah,
I
but
think
like-
right now is the time to capitalize with him.
Why are we saying that Sean Payton is like a Hall of Fame coach?
Because Drew Brees.
I think it's more like that stretch with Teddy Bridgewater, like 6 games with Teddy Bridgewater, and everyone was like, "Oh, maybe it's not just Drew Brees," but I don't think I buy it.
I just don't think they could be worse than they were last year. So I'm at least expecting a marginable improvement from the Broncos, which isn't hard because they went like 4-13 last year, so that's not going to be hard. If they go 8-9, that's going to be pretty
Alex,
easy.
how many drinks?
He just smiles at the camera.
This is an audio medium.
That's at
Alex.
least 10.
Okay, it's not 10.
If I hold up a bottle of wine, you stop when I get to where you're at. All right.
Is it okay? Is it more or less than the Cardinals' win total?
Ooh, I think it's about 4. So
Even.
So going under. Okay, all right.
All right.
All right, let's see. Team tiers. We've got Super Bowl or bust, division favorite. It's all the same ones. Where are we putting the Chiefs? I mean, Super Bowl or bust, right?
Super Bowl or bust.
yeah,
Yeah.
Super Bowl or buzz.
Until further notice.
Yep.
No one wants to go on the record and say that, gonna just say that the Chiefs are overrated or anything, or like,
Is Patrick
Rosie.
Mahomes the best quarterback in the NFL?
Josh
I don't
Allen.
know. That Josh Allen guy is. No.
That small town in Buffalo.
I'm done.
Little town in Buffalo. There's a town in Buffalo.
There's a town in the city of Buffalo.
I'm done with the Patty slander. They're going.
Yeah, I mean, they traded away Tyreek Hill, and you had Tyreek Hill during the season saying that, Tua was a more accurate passer than Mahomes, and Mahomes goes out and wins the Super Bowl. I mean, what more do you want?
Take that, Tyreek.
What more do you want? With like a average at best defense. Like the Chiefs did not have a dominant defense last year. So, Chiefs Super Bowl or bust, where do we think the Chargers fit in?
Super Bowl or bust.
No.
Wild card team.
Yeah.
By
They're
definition,
better
yeah.
than a wild card team, though.
I don't
No,
think
but
anyone in
by
this division
definition,
is
they would
better
have
than
to
them.
In their
be.
division, they're just going to have to be. A
They would
wild
have to be better than the Chiefs. That's the thing. And they're
I
not.
think they can push for it as well. I think they'll be neck
I
and
think
neck.
as long as Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid are in Kansas City, every other team in this division is wild card team at best.
I'm just like every single conversation in my head, like questioning the Chiefs. I just shut it down
I haven't making
because
the
I've
call
questioned
brewing,
them.
but I'm going to save it.
You're such a
No,
tease.
make it. Make it.
Brewing it like
I'm gonna
Make the
save it.
call that you're going to make the call.
All right, I'm making the
No,
call.
I'm just kidding.
making the call, and then it's gonna say next week.
I'm just kidding.
Fade to
It'll be
black.
like no. I was going to spoil the Sopranos finale. I won't do that.
Yeah, don't do it. I'm actually gonna watch it.
Goes to
Eventually.
black. Yep. That. Don't listen to that.
I'm going wild card team for the Chargers.
Yep.
Everyone, okay. Majority
Super
rules.
wild card team. New category.
Okay. What about the Jaguars?
All right, never mind.
Let's just give everybody their own.
Jaguars.
You're not supposed to be here.
Dang it! I was seeing if I was going to get Austin.
Oh, I should have waited.
You can't get me. I haven't had as much as Alex.
You were about to. You were
You
about
don't
to
need as
answer.
much
I
as
could tell.
Alex.
No.
Yeah, I went to the Rangers
was-
game with you last week, big boy. I know how much beer you need to start feeling it.
I was checking my
You
sheet.
have 2 kids.
Now, that was my first night without kids in a long
Austin
time.
spilled
Evan-
beer on 3 different people and sitting in front of us.
I spilled beer on one person.
And the person next to them.
Kinsey spilled beer on the person next to them.
7-0 in the second inning in his defense.
Austin got a beer bat, or let's see. Austin had.
A beer
What did-
bat.
Let's see.
Two large-
You had
Guys,
you had
I
one
ch-
big German, and then you did a beer bat of Ziegenbach, and then you did another Ziegenbach, and
No.
then you did
Austin,
another
you work at a
Ziegenbach.
church, dude.
I didn't, guys. I didn't finish the last Ziegenbach because the game ended.
Oh, you didn't finish the 5th one. I'm so
So
sorry.
I had to
You gotta
IPA.
finish
Yeah.
on the way out.
Guys, I drove home.
You should.
That makes it worse.
Guys,
Why
this
didn't-
was like over 2.5 hours.
Why didn't
Guys,
your wife drive home? She had
I
like
can.
one beer.
It's because I can hold it, but
She's a
whenever
woman.
when I don't have kids, I cut loose. That's just what it is.
Austin, has anyone ever? Let's
You're
just go-
confusing with the
No, hold on.
drinking
Let's
versus just
air
my
this out.
personality in general.
Let's air this out right now. Has anyone ever told you that you have a outdoor inside voice?
I mean, he is a pastor.
An outdoor inside voice.
Yeah, like I was sitting, I sat next to you at the game, and you were just like yelling the entire game.
Yeah,
like
that's
our
just
entire
me.
section knew every word
I
you were
agree. That's
saying.
just awesome.
That's just me. So it's like how
Oh,
much of
man.
it was beer
I
and how
couldn't
much
tell-
of it was
I was
just
about
me.
to say I couldn't tell if it was Austin or if it was the Ziegenbach talking.
See, it's like
No, that was Carmel
it's-
Drizzle.
That's called I don't have to watch the kids. I'm gonna enjoy my baseball game. That's what that was.
Y'all are
Congregants, if you
lousy
listen,
friends.
I'm
Golly.
sorry.
Austin, come to an ACU game with me.
An
Scratch some
ACU
cats.
baseball game.
Abilene's home for Division One.
How's their baseball team looking this year, Rosie?
I don't know. I don't watch baseball.
Football.
All
what are
right,
we
and
looking
that's
at?
Rosie talking baseball. All
In
right,
all
let's go
reality,
to
if my pastor listens to this, I'm getting fired.
no, you won't.
No,
You'll be
I
fine.
won't get fired. I
They
will
were
do
alcohol
things.
free.
I have a
They
feeling
got
you've got good job security.
I think so.
Yeah.
If you've heard, because I think I told you about the last guy that worked with me, so we're good.
Yeah, you're fine. But we don't need to air dirty laundry. Okay, Raiders. I mean, has there ever been a more king of mid team?
No. Tanking for Caleb. They
Tanking for
suck.
Caleb.
Tanking for Caleb.
Yes,
They have-
especially if they trade Devontae. Absolutely.
Andrew, they
I don't
have
think they're winning.
Jimmy G as their quarterback.
And Josh
6 and
Jacobs might hold
11.
out.
6-11 seems about right for them, especially if
Man.
they trade Devontae.
They
At
suck.
that point,
They're
they
my
got
favorite
nothing.
team to pick number 1 overall by a lot.
Wow.
Over the Cardinals, really?
Yeah.
And
Not over the
that's
Cardinals,
with
but
the
they'll
possibility
try.
that Tom Brady might unretire to go play for them.
Why would he
That's
do
not
that?
a possible. Why would he do that?
Stop it.
Just because he's like a minority owner?
Because it's just because of
No,
Josh
he's
McDaniels.
not
That's the
because
only reason.
they made a rule that if you're a team employee or you're a player, they made it this offseason, you're not allowed to have any equity in the team.
So did Tom Brady drop out of the deal?
Yes.
Hmm.
Now you
Well,
might
when
now
they're 0-7,
the
he's not
Brian
gonna win a
Windhorst
trophy.
meme. Now why would he do that?
I mean, yeah, but like at the same point, why wouldn't he be in training camp right now? Then, like, what's the point in
You
joining?
think Tom
on
Brady
mid-
wants to be in training camp?
Because he's going after Kim Kardashian. Do you think he has time for training camp?
I was gonna make a joke, but I'm not. We're just gonna move on. Okay,
We'll come
so
back to that.
tanking that joke will be on the Making the Call Patreon account
He's thanking for Kim Kardashian.
Oh, we have a Patreon now.
coming soon. I'm not gonna put a time on it. So
you pay
tanking
for
for
it, we can
Caleb
do it.
is what we're doing.
I think we need a social media presence before we start Patreon.
Hey,
Yeah,
we're
we need
trying.
a. I'm thinking about firing my social media manager.
I was
Craig,
on vacation last week. Did we have clips?
of what?
Yeah, I might fire the guy who makes clips.
Yeah, go up the chain.
Damn it, Craig. Oh,
Oh, double down.
Oh, man.
One of my favorite things is when one of you cusses and then you realize you cussed, and so you say another cuss word out of frustration.
Gotta double down,
Whoops.
man.
I should've
Double
said
jeopardy,
oopsie
we are
whoopsie.
fine.
Oopsie whoopsie is the new. If you want to cuss, just say oopsie whoopsie. There you go.
Perfect.
All right, I noted that one. So
What's
Raiders
next?
tanking for Caleb. What about the Broncos?
What about the Broncos?
They're not going to tank for Caleb.
King of mid.
Ooh,
A
I'm
QB away from being for real is what Alex wants to say.
actually no, but we'll get to that in the fantasy player to watch.
That's what I want to say.
What about
I'm
old
gonna
Wild and
go.
free?
I'm gonna go king of mid with the upside of sneaking into the final wild card spot. I think their ceiling is probably 9-8, more like 8-9. But either
I
way,
agree.
that'd be a step up from last year and sort of a building block for them. But
King of mid sounds
I think
right
they
to
will
me.
be marginally better this year.
Okay. So what's everyone's final votes? Because mine is quarterback away from being for real.
Mid.
Mid.
Okay, that's two for the
Quarterback
mid.
away. So, which quarterback do you think would step in and be better than what they got right now? Just
Tom Brady.
brainstorm.
Let's see. There's 32 starting quarterbacks, so I would say
Tom
maybe
Brady.
25 starting quarterbacks.
Cam Newton.
25.
Cam Newton.
Like, okay. Here's a good example. I think if Mac Jones was a quarterback of the Broncos, I'd feel better about them this year than Russell Wilson.
Oh,
no.
no.
That's a little-
Wow.
As a Mac Jones owner, I
think
rebuke
this
you.
year I might take a step back from being a Russell Wilson hater because I think. Can we just get to fantasy? Nah, we'll save it for fantasy players.
No, let's get it. Well, hold on. So are we doing king of mid for the Broncos? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Fantasy guys.
Yeah,
to
that
watch.
was the
Go
overall
ahead.
consensus.
Russell Wilson.
So- All right, so for fantasy football players to watch for the Broncos, I did pick Russell Wilson, which many people might be shocked because all of last year I was sort of just touting his downfall. But I think this year, one, he's coming in, he's up against the wall. He's never really been up against the wall like this. And he's got a good coach with him now, like a proven veteran offensive style coach in Sean Payton, who's already sort of stepped up for him in the media, calling out Nathaniel Hackett and sort of taking some heat for him, taking some heat off of him. I just think he can't be better than he was, or he can't be worse than he was last year. And he's going to take a big step forward. Second year in the offense. A lot of his receivers got hurt too, so if they can stay healthy, I honestly think it's only going to get better for him. So overall, I think he can still be a top 12 to 10-ish QB in the league, like a fringe top 10, not anywhere like 8 to and above, but around 10 to 12, I think, is his range in his current situation.
I don't think he's ever going to be top 15 in fantasy ever again. I think he's going to be the quarterback for the Broncos this year, and then they're going to trade him next year to a lousy franchise and
No
go hunting
team's
for
going to trade
another
for him if he's bad.
go
again.
hunting for another veteran.
I mean, I think some team like the Commanders might take a flyer on him if he
Oh, they
gets
learned their
that bad.
lesson.
We'll see how Sam
I bet
Howell
I bet a team would take him. I bet there's a team out there.
I do like the combination between him and Sean Payton a lot. I just feel like it's a combination made in heaven almost, style-wise. Just because if you think about it, Drew Brees and Russell Wilson have a lot of similarities. They're both sort of small, 6 foot, but they're they excel at the deep ball and just the play action passes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know. It felt like would you agree everyone was hyping up the Broncos before last season?
Oh, yeah, us included.
They were Super Bowl favorites for some.
And everyone was talking about like
We
how
put 'em
good
there.
everyone immediately started talking about how good their weapons were. And like I like Jerry Jeudy, I like Courtland Sutton. They're fine players, but they're not DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. Like I just don't know what. And like now they lose Tim Patrick for another year. Like poor guy, he's
I
out
think
all
the
of last
weapons are
year.
really good.
He's out for another year. I missed that.
Tore his Achilles last week,
Oh, jeez.
which just
His career's done.
sucks. Like I feel
Yeah,
for
he's
the guy.
already 30.
Yeah, and that's his second big knee injury in a row.
So I just like Courtland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy don't move the needle for me.
Very
And
Dulcich.
no,
Could they
like
be Devontae
like
Adams?
to me
Well,
this whole the entire offense is the definition of king of mid. Outside of Javonte Williams, who I love, but
He's not going to do well this year.
I disagree.
don't sleep on their backup, Samaje Perine.
Yeah,
He's
P.
finally
Ryan
gonna
was
get a
good.
decent opportunity out of Joe Mixon's shadow, and he was not a bad back when he got his touches. Like
He's
he's a
just
good.
30. He's 30 what?
I think
Oh,
he's
pretty
30.
young.
I think he's 30. He just turned 30. Maybe even a
Perine?
little
You just think
younger.
he's older because he's bald.
I thought he was like 31
Yeah,
or 32.
exactly. He might even be like.
He's in his
Younger.
30s.
Well, I gotta search. it now.
27. You made a mistake.
Y'all were wrong.
Yeah, it's the bald thing, like Andrew said. He just looks a lot older than
He looks
is.
54 because he's
Leonard
bald.
Fournette is like 40. Yeah.
But he's a solid NFL running back. Like one tackler's not going to bring him down. He's a good third down back, good goal line back, which is perfect for Russell Wilson if he needs to hand it off when he's
Marvin
in trouble.
Mims.
Are you
was my
suggesting that
Amon
Russell
Ra.
Wilson doesn't always hand it off when he's supposed to?
Yes, and I think for Russell Wilson to succeed, he needs a decent running back, which has been proven many a times.
Beastquake.
All right, who's your fantasy guy, Rosie?
As I was saying, Austin, golly.
Hey, we weren't done with that conversation, but you can jump in now.
Marvin Mims was my Amon Ra.
Ooh,
Same round pick.
good pick. I forgot about Marvin.
Marvin
Good
Mims.
pick. Good
He
pick.
went a little bit higher than Amon Ra did, but I think Marvin Mims was one of the best receivers in that draft class. He's going to get slept on.
Yes, he is.
And he hasn't done anything in training camp yet, but because he's been hurt. But I think he's going to be like the king of slant routes for
He's
Russell
a
Wilson.
perfect Tyler Lockett comp, like slot receiver guy, knows his routes, knows how to get open. Over the year, they're going to build a chemistry, and in the scramble drill, he might be able to figure out something with Russell too. So that's something to watch. I agree with that, Rosie.
Okay. And then I'm going with Javonte Williams because all the reports are saying that he is like well ahead of schedule. And I think he's going to be good from week 1.
Don't believe it.
I'm believing it, man.
I want to, man. I love Javonte Williams. Like, as soon as I think he's going to come out really weak. Like, the first half of the season, I think is going to be really rough for him. But after that, like, I'm buying at that time. So I think you have a good point.
I saw some reports that they might hold him out a couple weeks to start the season too, and that's why P. Ryan's getting some looks.
I could see it.
Like right now, he's taking all the first team reps in camp. Is what I saw. P. Ryan.
I hope you're
All
wrong
right,
for my guillotine's sake.
Let's go to the Chiefs now.
Okay, skip my Broncos pick, why don't you?
Who's your Broncos pick?
Wow.
Jerry Jeudy.
Okay, give it to me.
He had over 70 yards in 5 of his last 6 games last year, and I liked what I saw from him late in the season, and I think he's going to continue. So he's my player to watch. I like him a lot better than Courtland Sutton. On the
So
offense
you flipped
next year.
from last year.
Yeah, last year I picked Courtland Sutton. And I'm not getting burned again. But I actually saw
But
some
again,
promise.
you're
from Jeudy at
picking
the end
mid
of the year.
versus mid, so like take your pick.
I
Jerry
think
Judy's good.
Jerry Jeudy is good.
Jerry Jeudy was good in college. He has not shown to be good in the NFL.
Jerry Jeudy had 972 receiving yards last year.
Yeah, every time he steps on the field, he's really good. It's just he also gets hurt a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a skinny boy.
They'll throw
well,
more this year.
Your best ability is availability.
He'll be 1,000 yards next year.
Wayne Gretzky.
Wouldn't describe that as mid though.
Yeah, 972 is not mid. Mid's like 600.
Any other Broncos, Austin? I just want to make sure that
Oh yeah,
you
Javonte
get to empty the
Williams
notebook.
and Sean Payton. Yeah,
Sean Payton,
Yeah,
channeling
Sean
his
Payton's-
inner Taysom Hill, going to take some goal line snaps.
yeah,
from
he's
tight
gonna
end.
take some snaps. Yeah,
There's Charkandrick West,
Okay,
deep
all right.
running back.
So let's go to the
Getting too
Chiefs.
deep into
Hey,
the
is Peyton
Broncos.
Manning still on the Broncos? Because they want to pick them.
I think he's an advisor for their GM or whatever.
He's gonna log a fantasy point.
Chiefs, I'm going with Sky Moore. I think that you see with a lot of receivers, they take a leap in year 2. And I've said this on the podcast a bunch before, but I just love Sky Moore. And I think they're like the Chiefs are begging for someone to take that top wide receiver spot since Tyreek Hill left. And no one has done so. And Sky Moore is my pick to do that. So I'm going with him.
If he does what Juju did last year for the whole season, because Juju got hurt, but Juju would have been like a top 24 receiver.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
And I think he's better than Juju.
I agree.
So let's see. Alex, Austin.
Austin, you can go first.
Yeah, it's just got to be Tony for me. Yeah, Rosie's like, please. No, it sucks that he got hurt, but like he's just so explosive. He's so quick. He was the leading candidate for wide receiver 1 before he went down in camp, and so, if he's healthy week 1, I think he's the option, and so I think he's the guy to watch. I don't know.
Yeah, just to piggyback on that, because we had the same pick. Just another year with Patrick Mahomes, first full year with him. He's just a dynamic receiver. He's just got to stay healthy. But if he can, I think him and Patrick can really figure something out.
If he could even be like aluminum instead of styrofoam, like we don't need you to be steel. We just need you to be like aluminum.
Can you just be like Bosselwood? Like just
14 games? Can you play 14 games? 14 games. That's all we need, right, Austin?
Give me
14.
yeah, that's it. 14. Give me 14 games.
14. If you get 6 out of him, it's a success.
He can miss week 1.
Hey, do we want a steak dinner on over under games played for Kadarius Toney?
All right, over under, I'd set at 12.5.
Okay, no, here we go. Let's do this. So games where Tony plays more than, should we put a qualifier at like
50%.
50% of snap. Well, no.
60% of the snaps?
Now, I think it's 50% just because they have so many receivers they could plug in and out.
Okay, so games where Tony plays more than 50% of the snaps
He has to play a snap in all
Versus-
4 quarters. How about
versus
that?
wins for the Denver Broncos in 2023.
Ooh.
Alex is still trying to wrap his head around that. This is how
Alex
many
like, okay,
glasses-
hold on, carry the one.
Hold on, guys.
I'd probably go Tony, right?
I'm going. I'd go the Broncos. Their line
Okay.
is set at 8.5.
I'd go Tony steak dinner.
So you
Steak
don't
dinner?
think? So you don't think Tony's playing 8.5 games?
I'll
Can
go
we-
Tony beer. Tony beer
This
bat.
isn't worth a steak dinner bet. Can we just do
beer
like
bat. Beer bat.
McDonald's,
6-pack or 4-pack of Roller Town
4-pack
in
roller
and
town.
out,
deal?
Deal. 4-pack roller town.
Okay.
4-pack.
Making all the bets on this pod.
Broncos wins versus.
Andrew already aired all my alcohol use from last year's baseball.
Now we're getting
last
into
week's baseball
gambling.
games, so now we're gonna gamble. Might as well.
Okay, Bronco wins versus Kadarius Toney more than 50% snaps. Roller Town bet. Okay.
I'm going Tony.
A gentleman's agreement. Huzzah.
Let's do Chargers real quick. I talked about him whenever we were going through, I forget what podcast it was, but
Buys and sells.
buys and sells. That's right. Mike Williams. I think in fantasy, this is like just a general observation I have, that we get so caught up in the prior year's results that usually we're very, very nearsighted in what players have done. And I know you think like, okay, well, Mike Williams, he only had one really good year 2 years ago. But I asked this question when we talked about the Chargers, and the question was, is this a year where Justin Herbert gets unleashed? And it's kind of like the Cooper Kupp question. If Justin Herbert's going to throw for, 4,500 yards, where are the yards going?
Keenan Allen.
Okay, how many? 1,700?
1,000.
1,500. If you want to be really aggressive.
I'd put him at like 13.
Well,
Okay.
they got way more pass catchers. I mean, I think
They do than the Rams. Yes, absolutely.
'Cause
But
you've also
okay,
got-
let's do some
tight
math.
end.
Let's say Herbert throws for 4,500 yards. Okay, that'll be our starting point. Keenan Allen gets how many? 1,300.
1,100.
give me 13.
Me in the middle at 12.
Sounds
Keenan
good.
Allen. I mean, is he going to play 12 more than 12 games?
Let's
Like,
just talk yards.
Let's say he gets 1,200. So now you got 3,300 left over. Who else we got there?
This
Gerald
is not
Everett.
a good exercise, Andrew.
It is. The yards have to go somewhere, Rosie.
But
there's a
That's
lot of
not how
mouth
this works.
speed on the
I
Chargers,
think you
though.
give 800 to Everett. 7 or 8. Because
That's what
he
I'm
was
saying.
really good last year.
People are, we'll get to Everett, but
Okay, so Gerald Everett gets, you said 800. He had 555 last year.
Okay, give me 650 then.
Okay,
I think he'll do a little better than last year.
minus 650. Let's give the backup tight end some love. We got just Donald Parham. Maybe he gets 300. Last year he did 130. He's never gone more than 200. So maybe 250 for him.
Yeah, give me 200.
Because Justin Herbert's going to be airing it out, right? So, okay, we've covered the tight ends. Austin Eckler. If we look at him,
Mike Williams.
800.
no, we'll do everyone else. So Austin Eckler last year did 722. The year before that, 647, and then 403, and then his career high was back in 2019 when he had 993, or I'm sorry, 993
I
receiving
think like
yards.
700 is a good option if he's not dumping it.
700. Okay.
Yeah.
And let's see, rookie Quentin Johnston. Let's say he has a really good rookie year, maybe.
600? 700?
Okay, we'll go 600.
And now Josh Palmer, 500.
Okay,
Yeah, give me 5 for Josh. That's good.
Okay, then you
Josh
got
Palmer.
Carter.
Well, hold on. No, we're gonna stop at Josh Palmer.
Uh-oh, Andrew, are we coming
No,
close to
hey,
the
we
edge?
got a couple of Josh Palmer stands right here. All
So
right?
Josh Palmer,
He was,
you said okay. What did he do last year?
he was a quality option last year.
Oh, 770 because there was no Keenan Allen. So okay, yeah. So 500. So this is assuming all of those things. That'll leave 650 yards left over, which I would say.
Oh,
I
this
would
is
say
a great
we were-
exercise. It's a fantastic exercise. I love it.
No, it is. But I would say we
Andrew,
were
Mike
also.
Williams?
What's that?
Wait. Let me make sure I understand you right. So your point is Mike Williams is going to get 650 yards.
That's
Whoa.
assuming that Keenan Allen. That's assuming.
whoa.
Hold on.
Isn't
Dude,
Mike
that's
Williams your
a league
fancy guy
winning
to
season
watch?
right there.
Yes, but
He's like, watch him suck. That's what,
Yeah, that's mid, dude.
you know what this is.
we just called it mid.
You know what this is. Have you seen the
You're
video?
in the-
Hold on.
It's just like the always sunny guy that is like.
Hold on.
this, like, giant.
Have you seen the video of the guy who believes the Earth is flat? So he does a science experiment to prove it, and he proves that it's round.
I should be
He's
able
talking
to
about
see the
Kyrie
light.
Irving.
Okay, but
I
this is
should be able to see that. Oh,
Spend
This
all
is
this money on
assuming-
the spend all the money on the telescope, and then
this is assuming 1,200 yards for Keenan Allen, 650 for Gerald Everett, and 700 for Austin Eckler, and 600
Andrew,
for
you
Quentin
agree
Johnson.
to these numbers, man.
see all you
But
got to do.
would you agree that these numbers were probably a bit conservative, or not conservative, aggressive?
Andrew, all you got to say is that
Yeah.
Justin Herbert's going to throw for 5K, and then the rest is going to go.
Yeah,
to
so
Williams.
you had another 500 yards, and now you got a 1,200 yard season from Mike
Andrew,
Williams. Done.
But let me ask you this. Who is the most likely person to get hurt on the Chargers?
Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen.
It's Mike Williams.
It's Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen.
No, it's Keenan Allen.
Mike Williams'
What are you
play
talking
style.
about, Rosie?
Mike Williams is the second most likely person to get hurt on the Chargers.
They're both injury prone, but Keenan Allen's just a little bit older.
That's why
so
Quentin
that's why you
Johnson is
gotta
my
lean
guy to
Keenan.
watch.
Keenan Allen has
that's why I
been
picked
healthy
Quentin.
like every year for a long time, and then last year he got kind of hurt.
Last year, he hurt his hamstring, and then Brian Robinson got shot, and then Brian Robinson returned to the field before Keenan Allen returned from his hamstring.
A
was
hamstring injury is worse.
It
was a
wasn't a tear. It was a sprain. It was a mild hamstring sprain. It's like a 2-week injury. It took him.
Hey, you saw how long Corey Seager was out with the hamstring strain. All right.
It's different.
Don't say 2 weeks.
His was a tear though.
It's
Are you
also
sure?
baseball and football.
Wasn't
it's
it?
a lot different.
I really thought it was just like a severe strain.
Hey, Andrew, I'm pretty sure a sprain is a tear.
No.
No, yeah, sprain is tear. It's just the degree to which it tears.
Yeah.
Because if not, it's just a pull.
I don't know about all that.
Google it.
Nah, we're running out of time. Let's go ahead and move on. We'll just.
Andrew's learning so much about numbers and science today.
Yeah, my wife texted me that Emma is up in her bed waiting for me to be done with the podcast so I can go in there.
Okay, well, then, no,
Sorry,
yeah,
Tom.
let's take our time. Let me look it up real quick. Give me just a second.
It's like, I'm going to have a second day tomorrow.
Then here, real quick, any other Chargers?
I picked
Justin Herbert's going to be QB1.
No one that we've already
Ooh.
talked about.
Quentin
What?
Johnson is going to be like wide receiver top 15 if Keenan Allen and Mike Williams get hurt. That's what I think.
You say Herbert's QB1 out of
Yeah.
everybody?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not.
Did you say that last year?
That's a making the call. I don't think I think Josh Allen was my guy last year.
We really
You're
don't
not-
know how to
Wait,
make
so
a call
are you
on
making
this
the call
podcast.
that Justin Herbert's QB1?
Yes.
You already said it like 4 times. I feel like I feel like I can't play the music.
Hit the bite. It's the
I wasn't
meme.
asking you to.
It's a meme now.
Hit the button.
Do it.
Back to 0.
This has been a great podcast, gentlemen.
This
Really?
button?
No.
I like this one too, though.
That's for the end of the season.
Yeah. we
With
got
every head bowed, every eye closed.
Okay,
I believe
so
in Justin Herbert. Come to the front.
Well, I guess we got to
Okay.
talk about Raiders now.
Raiders.
They suck.
I put Devontae probably.
Yeah, just because Devontae's going to try and show out to get out of there.
And if he gets traded to a good situation, hey, you have Devontae.
Watch Aiden O'Connell.
Okay, why?
I thought Aiden O'Connell was on the Lions.
No.
I'm just
That's
kidding.
Aiden
That was-
Hutchinson.
I know that was a crappy joke. It was terrible.
Yikes.
Yikes.
Because Jimmy G is horrible. And he is finally now not with
Hate that.
Shanahan.
You hate that man.
Yeah, he sucks.
He's
I,
going
mean,
to throw it to somebody.
I don't know if I think he's the worst quarterback in the league right now.
Okay.
Mac Jones. Would you rather have Jimmy G or Mac Jones?
Mac
Mac
Jones.
Just because he's younger.
I think well, no, like straight up for redraft next year. Jimmy G or
Mac
Mac
Jones can throw the ball further. Jimmy G's never thrown it more than 30 yards in his life.
Mac Jones doesn't have Devontae Adams though.
Yeah, but he's
We're
only
third
had
and
Devontae for like
third and
8-9
Renfro.
games.
Okay. Let's see. Any other fantasy players?
Nope.
Okay.
No.
Favorite bets? Alex.
All right, so with mine, I went a little fun here. I went with the Chiefs to score 2 or more touchdowns in every single regular season game. That's plus 750, but I just went with that because I still think they're the best offense in the league. And I looked at their schedule. I think the hardest defense they're going to play this year is probably the Buffalo Bills.
Well,
Is this like a new betting line with the touchdowns?
So under Bovada, if you go season props, for each team they have like specialty bets, and I just went Chiefs and sort of just went down the odds and picked like 750 because I wanted to go a little high with it. But for every team, they have some fun bets like that if you want to look into that. That's where I found it.
Okay. Rosie, what do you have?
Justin Herbert to win MVP plus
Oh my gosh.
900.
You.
I won't stop.
Last year it was the Bills to win the Super Bowl, and now it's Justin Herbert to win the MVP.
I was much more confident in the Bills winning the Super Bowl.
I know you said it was the best possible bet for the entire division.
I'm not making that case now. Why are you putting words in my mouth?
Hey,
I love you, Rosie. I love how confident you are in your predictions, and sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong, but you
gotta double
always
down.
you always put the predictions out there, which I do respect.
Well, I'm better at math than you are.
I did the math. I just didn't get the answer I wanted.
Okay,
But hey,
the Zach Galifianakis
that's-
gift where he's like,
I love when you do a silent GIF, Austin, on a podcast. It's great content.
Hey, that was a performance for you, not the audience.
All right. Well, we'll have to do subtitles or something.
Watch
All
YouTube.
right. My betting pick. I'm taking division order. This is plus 450. Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, Raiders.
Fair enough.
The Chargers are the only team that would hurt you there, is if they not the Chargers, the Broncos, if they somehow surpass the Chargers.
Yeah, and
That's not going to happen.
I don't think they will. I think plus 450 for that division order is pretty good value.
Okay. Mine is actually for both West divisions, and it is for the Chiefs and the Rams to both make the playoffs, and it's plus 275. Yeah. Okay. Good talk, guys. Final prediction for division order. Are we going Chiefs? I hope.
Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, Raiders.
I don't think Rosie's going Chiefs first. I think he's going Chargers.
I'll go Chiefs.
Oh.
Okay. And then
Hope you're
Chargers,
MVP.
Broncos, Raiders.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
That means you all have to go bet my thing now.
That is not what that means. Please bet responsibly, everybody.
was
Over under
saying
picks. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll put $1 on it. Over under Chiefs 11.5 wins.
Over.
Over.
Yeah, same. Have they ever lost, or have they ever won less than 11 games in the Mahomes era?
I don't think so.
I'm looking. Let me see.
I think the first year they went 11-5 with Mahomes.
So the second year they went. Oh, this is QB record. Okay, I need to go to just Kansas City because I guess he missed like a couple games.
Yeah, he tore his ACL that one year.
No, he didn't. No. You're thinking of
He
Joe
hurt
Burrow.
his leg?
He hurt his leg. He didn't tear his ACL.
Oh, okay.
That was last year. He hurt his leg.
No.
So
he was out for the season.
12-4, 12-4, 14-2, and 12-5, and then 14-3. So yeah, they've always won 12 games or more. So yeah, give me the over. So everyone said over. Chargers over under 9.5.
Over.
Yeah, over.
I will go under.
Wow.
Wow.
Alex said they're a cursed franchise.
Still think
Well,
they'll win
even
10
with the
games.
curse last year, they won 10 games.
Yeah, but I don't
Be a
know.
wild card
They're
team
more
and
curster this year.
crash
All right,
out like
let's
that
let's
was
do the math here. So there's 17 games. Broncos over under 8.5.
This is a great line.
It's a great
Yeah.
line.
It's a great
Push.
line.
Yeah, over
Push.
9-8.
They go 9
9
and
and
8.
eight.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think so
Yeah,
too.
fine.
And then Raiders 7.5.
Under. Smash the under.
7.5
They
is a
seem like a
lot.
5-6 win team.
Okay. That's it, boys. Right? Anything else?
Go
Can we talk about the
Mariners.
Jags next week?
Go Chargers.
The Jags were last
Mariners.
week.
Oh, dang it.
And the
Someone did
Mariners
not
and
listen.
Rangers, two hottest teams in baseball. How about that?
How about that? Shout out to the Angels. Haven't won since the deadline. Rangers
Yeah, we,
haven't lost.
We sunk the Angels. Rip to them.
There you go. Yeah, it's
Hey, Rangers have a series against the A's, and
man. Some of
Astros
these,
have a series against the Orioles. So should maybe
Hey, look at
hopefully
that.
get some ground.
I think the Mariners might catch the Astros here in a couple weeks.
so I looked up football dad jokes, and some of these are like
Same
team
time.
specific. And the very first one is 20 Vikings fans in a basement are called what? A wine cellar.
I almost said something very inappropriate.
I'm glad you didn't.
Oopsie.
How can you keep the Detroit Lions? This is kind of outdated. How can you keep a Detroit Lions out of your front yard? By putting up a
Draw a goal
goalpost.
line.
Let's see. Alex will like this one. Why do 49ers fans smell so bad? So that blind people can hate them as well.
Heyo.
That was nice.
Let's see. Do you know the difference between the Dallas Cowboys and a dollar bill? You can still get 4 quarters from a dollar bill. These are good. I like these.
Hey, the quarter that we gave was the last quarter last year, though, so that's all that matters.
Let's see. Nebraska and marijuana have what in common? Both get smoked in a bowl.
That's good.
These are good. I like these. Okay. No, that one's. We won't do that one.
You got a UT. Is there a UT one in there?
I haven't found it yet.
There's gotta be one.
How many?
How many Aggies
No,
does it take
not
to change
that
a light
one.
bulb? This is a good one. How many Aggies does it take to change a light bulb?
However many can pile into Kyle Field for the midnight yell.
No, 501. One to hold the light bulb and 500 to turn the house.
I don't get it.
The Aggies are dumb. That's the joke.
Like the guy holds the light bulb in place and then they turn
okay.
the house around him.
Okay.
There you go.
Here's an Aggie one. A genius sitting in the Texas A&M student section will be called what? A visitor.
There it is.
All right, let's end it there. That's going to do it for this week's episode of Making the Call. We will be back next week with, should we do the North or the East divisions?
We'll do the North if Trent's available, I think.
The North remembers.
Okay, we'll do the North tentatively. We might do the East. I feel like either one I want Trent on so that I can debate him on either Justin Fields or Dak Prescott. So that'll be up next week. And, yeah, go try Liquid IV. Go try their sugar-free line, their lemon lime or their white peach. Or, Austin, what flavor do you think is the GOAT?
The acai berry, for sure.
Go try the acai berry. Go try the passion fruit. That one's also good. Fruit
that
punch.
one's delish.
Fruit punch I'll also endorse. If you drink
haven't
fruit
done fruit
punch as a
punch yet.
kid, you'll feel nostalgic because it tastes just like it. Go try Liquid IV. Use code MTC for 20% off. Make sure you are subscribed to us, whether it's on Spotify or Apple, or go subscribe to us on the YouTube. We'll be doing a lot more stuff on the YouTube come NFL season, which, boys, 2 weeks from Thursday is the kickoff. Chiefs versus Lions. The NFL season will be here. We are almost there. I can
Where's the
taste it. We're
pythons?
so close. I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of the week, and we will see you next time.
You are sent.
What a great pod.
Yeah, fun all around.
That's a classic right there.
That's an all-timer.
Fun all around.
Yeah, that was good.
I need to eat dinner.
I said sarcastically because there were some not so great pod moments. But there were also some great pod moments. How many bets did we make?
3 or 4.
I lost track.
We lost a lot. I think that's-
Bye.
Does that have to be a record
All right.
for most bets made on a pod?
Probably. I would
I think
bet
it
that.
is. I would bet that.